There's a number Toyota loves, and frankly, it's earned it. According to IC Cars, the average Toyota has nearly an 18% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, close to 4 times the industry average. That's the whole reputation in one stat. Buy a Toyota, run it into the dirt, hand it down to your kid. But here's what the badge won't tell you at the dealership. Not every Toyota is cut from the same cloth, and a few of them will quietly bleed your bank account dry while their cousins are still purring at 300,000 miles. So we went through the recalls, the warranty bulletins, the owner forums, and the actual repair invoices to separate the genuine workhorses from the lemons wearing the same logo. 7 Toyotas, 3 to walk straight past, 4 you can buy with total confidence. We'll start with the third worst Toyota in America, and the single worst one might surprise you, because it's the model everyone assumes is unkillable. Let's begin with the third worst Toyota you can buy right now, the third generation Tundra from the 2022 and 2023 model years. On paper, this truck should be untouchable. Toyota retired the old 5.7-liter V8 and dropped in a modern twin-turbo 3.4-liter V6, the engine they call the V35A, then slapped "Born from Invincible" on the marketing. Reality bit back hard. During manufacturing at the Huntsville, Alabama plant, machining debris, the metal swarf left behind when an engine is cut and finished, wasn't always cleared out. Over time, under load, that debris finds its way into the crankshaft main bearings and grinds them down. The result? Knocking, rough running, a no start, or in the nightmare scenario, a full stall on the interstate. Toyota issued its first recall in May 2024, covering around 102,000 trucks, then expanded it in late 2025 to roughly 127,000 vehicles, once thousands of failures kept piling up. And the fix isn't a software patch. Toyota is replacing entire engines. Now, in fairness, if you buy an affected truck, that engine swap is free under the recall, and the hybrid version was never included. But think about what you're actually signing up for. A $50,000 pickup with a question mark hanging over its durability, and a resale value the whole mess has knocked sideways. If you genuinely want one, hand the VIN to a dealer and get written confirmation the recall work is done and the engine already replaced before you spend a dime. Otherwise, you're betting 50 grand on a coin toss. The second worst Toyota on the list is one nobody expects to see here because the badge says Hybrid Royalty. It's the third generation Prius, built from 2010 through 2015, running the 1.8-liter 2ZR-FXE engine. The hybrid drivetrain itself is brilliant, 50 miles per gallon without even trying, beloved by rideshare and taxi drivers in every major city in the country. But the weakness is purely mechanical, and it's textbook. The exhaust gas recirculation system clogs with carbon, the cooling can't shed enough heat, and eventually the head gasket surrenders, usually past 150,000 miles. The tell is a violent shudder on a cold start that owners have grimly nicknamed the death rattle. Ignore it, and the head gasket bill opens around $3,000 and climbs fast. Plenty of owners have posted dealer quotes north of $4,500. And there's a second sting that's uniquely American. The Prius is a magnet for catalytic converter theft because the cat sits low and the metals inside are worth serious money to anyone with a battery saw and 90 seconds to spare. So if a cheap one tempts you, listen hard for that cold start rattle, ask whether the EGR cooler and intake manifold have ever been cleaned, and price in a converter shield. Toyota redesigned the system for 2015, so a late example is the Smart Move. The Prius will outlast almost anything on the road, just not if you turn a deaf ear to the shake. And the single worst Toyota to buy in America is the one hiding in the most ordinary cars on the road. It's any Toyota fitted with the 2.4-liter 2AZ FE 4-cylinder from roughly 2006 to 2011, which means certain Camrys from 2007 to 2009, the 2006 to 2008 RAV4, the Camry Hybrid, a slice of Corollas, and a few Scions, all sharing one thirsty little engine. The fault is oil consumption, and not the polite kind. We're talking a quart burned every 1,200 miles, sometimes worse, caused by undersized oil return holes in the pistons and a low-tension ring design that swapped durability for a sliver of fuel economy. And Toyota knew. It published a service bulletin in 2011, then launched Warranty Enhancement Program ZE7 in late 2014, extending coverage and reimbursing owners who'd already paid out of pocket. But here's the trap for a buyer in 2026. That coverage expired years ago, and a proper piston and ring rebuild on an out-of-warranty car runs well into 4 figures. Worse, the cars are so common and so cheap that people snap them up assuming any Camry is bulletproof. The reason this one tops the avoid list isn't drama, it's how invincible it is. A low dipstick doesn't trip a warning light until the damage is already done. So if you're looking at a Camry or RAV4 from this window, pull the dipstick yourself, check for blue smoke on a hard pull, and ask the seller point blank how often they top it up. If they look confused, walk away. The same name that built Toyota's reputation built this engine, and it's the exception that proves you can't just trust the logo. Now, for the good news, because this is where the legend gets earned. The 4th best Toyota you can buy is the everyman champion, the Corolla. It isn't exciting, and that's exactly the point. The modern Corolla pairs a frugal gas 4-cylinder good for the low to mid-30s around town with a hybrid option that sips at close to 50 miles per gallon, all wrapped around a timing chain and a naturally aspirated engine, with no turbo to cook and no belt to snap. It's the car driving schools buy, the car fleets buy by the hundred, the car your neighbor has had for 9 years and never mentions, because it has never given her a reason to. Repairs, when they happen, are cheap, and the parts are on every shelf from Anchorage to Miami. The only real knock? It's modest. The backseat is tight, and the driving experience won't quicken your pulse. But for cheap, no drama, runs forever motoring, the Corolla is almost impossible to argue with. Buy one with a service record, change the oil, and forget it exists. The 3rd best Toyota is the family workhorse that quietly shames cars costing twice as much. The Camry, specifically the modern naturally aspirated 2.5-liter generation. This is one of only a handful of sedans that even appears on the longest-lasting vehicle studies, sitting shoulder to shoulder with SUVs and trucks that dwarf it. Real-world economy lands in the low 30s for the gas model and pushes toward 50 for the hybrid, and the bones are simple enough that a high-mileage Camry is a comma in its life story, not the final chapter. It's the default airport shuttle, the default rideshare, the default I just need it to start every single morning car. The catch is gentle. Stick to the conventional automatic or the hybrid, both rock solid. Keep up with routine maintenance, and check for accident history, because a car this popular gets thrashed by some owners. Do that, and you've got a near bulletproof sedan, with room for the whole family and a resale value that flat out refuses to collapse. It's the sensible shoe of the car world, and it'll still be walking long after the trendy stuff is in the scrapyard. The 2nd best Toyota in America is the one that holds its value so stubbornly it's almost rude, the 4Runner. Body on frame, built on the proven 4.0-liter V6 through its long 5th-generation run, this is an SUV engineered for the mountains, the trails, and the kind of winters that turn lesser crossovers into garage ornaments. It's a fixture in Colorado ski towns and Pacific Northwest trailheads for a reason, and IC Cars consistently ranks it among the longest-lasting SUVs on the road. But here's the honest catch. It drinks. 17 miles per gallon is about what you'll see, and the ride is trucky because it is, fundamentally, a truck. You'll also pay a premium even for a high-mileage one, because everybody knows what it's worth. But that's the trade. A used 4Runner can read 150,000 miles and still command money that would only buy you a tired crossover with half the life left. If fuel economy isn't your hill to die on, this is as close to a permanent vehicle as the modern market offers. And finally, the best Toyota you can buy in America, the genuine buy it once and drive it forever machine, the Land Cruiser. The reputation isn't marketing, it's metallurgy and decades of fieldwork. This is the vehicle the UN runs into the hardest corners of the planet, the one mining outfits and aid convoys trust where a breakdown means real trouble. IC Car's data pegs its potential lifespan near 280,000 miles, and its sibling the Sequoia tops their longest-lasting list outright, with a 39% shot at $250,000, 8 times the industry average. The older 200 series with the 5.7-liter V8 will run essentially indefinitely on nothing more than oil changes and patience. The catches are exactly what you'd expect. It guzzles fuel. The older V8 returns around 14 miles per gallon, and a clean used example commands serious money, because this is the rare Toyota that can actually appreciate as the miles climb. Watch for frame rust on cars from salted states and check the service history, but neither is usually a deal breaker on a cared-for truck. You don't buy a Land Cruiser to save money this year. You buy it so you never have to buy another one. For anyone who's tired of the showroom treadmill, this is where the search ends. So across all 7, the pattern is impossible to miss. Toyota's bulletproof reputation is mostly deserved, but mostly is doing some real work in that sentence. A few specific engines and a few specific years can cost you thousands, while the genuine workhorses, the Corolla, the Camry, the 4Runner, the Land Cruiser, just keep racking up the miles long after the finance brochures have yellowed. The badge is a starting point, not a guarantee. The real homework is in the engine code, the model year, and the service record. So which Toyota would you trust to see out 300,000 miles? Drop it in the comments, and if this saved you from a bad buy, you know what to do.